Hi guys, hope you're having a great evening. This is Sheila and Fred with Hatfield McCoy Museum Adventures and FS Investigates.
Hey guys,
There's my buddy.
there's my love.
Thank you.
There's my life.
You're mine.
I tell it all the time. I know you can't really talk. I'm sorry.
Go
I tell it
ahead.
all the time, but I tell people. I told that guy one time. I said I can't breathe without her. He said you can't smell without her neither. So anyway, go ahead, babe.
I love you. Today, as you can see, we are talking about Mr. Hardwick, who has dementia and was arrested by the Danville Police Department.
What's that crooked up there for? I wonder.
What do you mean?
The writing.
I don't know. I don't see
Ain't
it.
no big deal. I don't guess.
Okay. I didn't see it.
It's okay.
So we'll watch this video and we'll comment about how this gentleman here has his knee on Mr.
I
Hardwick.
turned my chair around sideways so you can see it. We're going to talk about this in a minute, guys. This is not even TJ Godbey. This here is the guy, the officer that was at the door after the security guard loss prevention told them that Mr. Hardwick never tried to leave the store, never broke the barrier.
Yep.
And then this guy here, the redheaded guy with the beard, said, I think that's enough for shoplifting. Look at him, where he's got his knee on this almost 70-year-old man. Got his knee on his chest, on his back.
Law.
Watch when you see the video of him slamming him to the ground when he does a leg sweep, sweeps his leg out from underneath him. And as he gets close to the ground, he pushes his head. He doesn't just lay him down on the ground. He pushes him down on that floor to punish him, to give him that last jolt that he can without it people noticing it real bad. Because everybody's noticing the Godbey guy slugging the heck out of him. This guy's got his knee on a 70-year-old man, almost a 70-year-old man's chest. And him a hollering and moaning and groaning. And
the third gentleman told him, ask him, are you going to get in the car or do I have to put you in the car?
Yeah, it was wrong from the word go, but go ahead and then we'll pick up on the other side.
Okay, let's show the video.
Now, Danville's mayor says an external review and an internal investigation into the case is ongoing. And Chief of Police Anthony Gray says he supports the review.
But we wanted to hear from them one-on-one as well as from people in the community. They told us they are frustrated with the lack of transparency and no one being held accountable.
LES 18's Drew Ammon went to Boyle County to push for answers.
This is Danville. More than 3 months since this incident at a Walmart.
Behind your back.
John Hardwick pulled to the floor by 3 officers.
A lot of people are angry. We trust law enforcement here to do the right thing and protect and serve us.
It's been a week since we brought you the story that someone who asked to remain unidentified over fear of retaliation started a change.org.
Okay. I'm going to tell you guys one thing. I just hit me right then. And, you know, it's sad that those 3 officers treated a man like that. But what's even sadder is, if you think about it, that it took 3 grown men to beat up a 70-year-old man like that wasn't even resisting. It took 3 grown men like they're wrestling with somebody that's fighting. You'd think that man was fighting up a storm. That man's just trying to keep from getting hurt when he slammed to the floor. These guys are like they're fighting with each other, trying to make it look worse than it is.
Sad.
Go ahead. 3 Stooges is what you got.
Petition. It demands the dismissal of Officer TJ Godbey and suspension of 2 other officers from the Danville Police Department involved in the incident.
Do what you can, say what you can, and talk to as many people as possible to exact change.
Today we wanted to get the community's response to this incident. I caught up with Michael Mingy. He is one of the people who signed the change.org petition.
All we want is transparency and just, the truth. Clearly, we've seen the truth on the video, and they dismissed the charges.
Recently, the Danville City Commission held its monthly meeting. Mingy wants the city to know where he stands.
Why did you feel the need to speak at that meeting?
I was going to refrain from being on Facebook and commenting and sharing stuff, but I noticed a lot of people have been frustrated and want to say something, but they can't.
We wanted to find out what Police Chief Tony Gray had to say, beyond what we heard from Mayor James Atkins, that there's an external review, an internal investigation.
I was wondering, is Chief Gray in?
After reaching out multiple times, we're still waiting to hear more from Gray and Atkins. In Boyle County, Drew Ammon, LEX 18 News.
Sad.
Early, Larry, and Mo. And I'm going to tell you, the sad part is the mayor, the police chief, and the city council that's there. It's good. You know, the city of Danville is like the city of London and what they're going through now. Both of these are reputable, beautiful communities that that people love and always bragged about. Wow. Do you not realize that people that you're looking like? Go ahead, Sheila.
I just want to say that I'll add a photo at the end of this video here. I forgot to upload it here to watch, but I went on to Danville's police page on Facebook and found out where TJ Godbey and another gentleman, it said, "Welcome to Danville PD." And that was on August of 2024. I forget the exact
This past
date.
August?
This past August. So I'm going to include that at the end of our
Well,
video.
You know, he
but-
came from Stanford.
Right,
He
right. But
came
I'm
from
just saying
Stanford
he's not
Police
been here that
Department
long.
after being accused, from what I can understand and what I saw on Facebook. I even shared the picture for a while. Of an elderly gentleman who was also beat. I think he passed away later on. I don't know if it's in relation to the beating that he took. Guys, as a police officer, I'm not saying I'm an angel here. I'm not saying I didn't fight with people
Right.
when I was a police officer. There's a difference. The law allows us to use whatever force is necessary to effect the arrest. After the arrest is made, after the cuffs are put on, after he's restrained, after there's certain things that you don't compliant. Thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
After they're compliant or the resistance has stopped, you can't continue to abuse. You can't. This is an old man, first of all. Second of all, he's got dementia. When you hear him hollering there, that sounds like my mother.
Yeah.
My mother had dementia. Go to my Facebook page and look at my mother when she calls me a teenager.
Yeah.
70 years old, and he's a teenager. Sometimes she thought she was in the 7th grade or in high school and had to turn a report in, or who can explain this? You can't explain dementia or Alzheimer's or autism, but it's there. We have to learn to recognize it.
There has to be a better way.
These people, this man got abused beyond, and guys, I'm going to say it again, and I'll say it till the cows come home. Ask news media, ask Tony Gray if Mr. Hardwick would have been a black man laying on that floor with 3 white cops on top of him, would they not all be fired? Slugging a black man with his knee. What was the guy's name? George Floyd. With his knee on his neck and his upper back. It's a disgrace. Now, City of Danville Council, the mayor, and the police chief can come to their senses and say, hey, we've got to make a change or we're going to lose all confidence. We've already lost confidence in the Kentucky State Police. We've already lost confidence in this one and that one. Are we going to have another city where their own citizens don't appreciate and recognize them? Has it come to us against them so bad that even when you see somebody do something wrong, Tony Gray, police chief, if that was your father and 3 men tuck him to the ground and him almost 70 years old with dementia, how would you feel? Why can people not put I'm sorry, babe, but why can't people put themselves in this man's position and imagine not only being elderly, but not having a fully functional capabilities, even at the hospital.
Exactly.
They ask them, need your blood? Are you hurt? Do you? I'm fine. I'm fine. That's the way my mother was.
He even asked Mr. Godbey, who are you?
Yeah, my mother, people with dementia, they don't know how to be mean. Or my mother didn't. Now, she wouldn't want to go to doctor's appointments. She wouldn't want to, when she didn't want to do something, she didn't do it. But she wasn't mean. What's going to be interesting, guys, and I'm just talking hypothetically here. I am speculating, my opinion.
Okay.
I believe when Ephraim Helton gets that, what are you going to say?
Go ahead. Well, I feel like this is a totally different direction. I know where you're going, but I feel that since they done release charges, drop charges against him, that helps Mr. Helton with his case. Because if he actually stole or if he was actually drunk, they would have prosecuted him.
Yeah, no doubt.
So now you're talking about going a different direction.
I think when E gets the jail video or the video from the back of the cruiser on his way to jail and on his way to the hospital, there may be more. When we, the people, get to see how this gentleman was treated, this elderly, abused gentleman,
dementia,
was treated. I want to know how he was treated at the jail, because I've already heard the people say that, well, we had to put him in the restraint chair. We had to put him in the restraint chair. Guys, a restraint chair is for some of the most violent prisoners that we take to jail. A restraint chair, they are completely bound in every way that they can, from their feet to their hands. And when you take a dementia patient and you confine them, especially if they've got one iota of claustrophobia or any kind of, imagine in this man's mind.
He's afraid.
He will never, they don't remember as much good stuff. But boy, if there's something bad happens, they'll remember it like what is it, an elephant that's got such a good memory?
Elephant, he's got a never forgets or something.
Thank you, all you news organizations, all the news media that keeps covering it. Thanks, everybody that's signing this petition.
What is it, 15,000 now?
15 or 17,000. Guys, it shouldn't be just TJ Godbey. TJ Godbey's the one that was slugging them. While they got his hands behind his back, either handcuffing him or already handcuffed.
You heard him holler, ow.
He's restrained. Oh, he's a hollering, please stop.
Yeah.
Please stop. This man's not resisting. If you, three of you can't whoop a 70-year-old man, goodness sakes, Danville PD, I'd be ashamed. The rest of you officers should be standing up and saying, hey, we don't want to work with these three clowns no more.
Yep.
We don't want to work with them no more. Our police department looks bad from this. Again, guys, I've arrested people and I've had to fight people. But when the fighting stops, it stops. When the cuffs go on, the hands come off. You got to use some common sense.
It's sad. I feel so sorry for this little man, but I hope he gets justice. And I agree.
Oh, he will get his family justice. He'll never be the same. Look how kind in the hospital.
Yeah.
Even some of the hospital staff didn't pick up, though, really. You know.
And the one guy said he didn't believe he had severe dementia.
Well, he don't know anything about dementia because within 2 minutes of talking to this gentleman, anybody that knows anything about dementia would know that he's definitely got dementia. He's definitely got something ailing him. He wasn't staggering around Walmart. That's why they dropped the AI charge. He wasn't staggering. He was buying beer, which gave the police this incentive. They're thinking, oh, he's buying beer and he's acting like this. He's bound to be drunk. He's not drunk. He's not intoxicated. Intoxication, AI, is when he's a threat to himself or others. People, others.
Speech went slurred. He wasn't.
He's looking for his wife. He's scared. He's in fear. And then they grab that man and don't even explain you're under arrest. They just grab him. Put your hands behind you.
trip him and slam him to the floor.
And again, guys, you can blame the one punching. Of course, he's at fault. Of course, he's terrible. He's no more terrible than the other one. The one outside grabbed him by the neck or the chest, and you want me to put you in there? You're going to get in. He's handcuffed. He's almost 70 years old. Goodness sakes. And you grab a hold of him and imagine what that's doing to your handcuffed wrist.
Yeah.
If that was a criminal, I wouldn't say nothing. You can't, you don't want nobody abused.
Right.
This is a 70-year-old man.
Yeah, and their little hands, his little wrist was hurting. But as you get older, of course, you know.
And
your
then the
skin's not
other
as
one,
tough.
Loss prevention says
They're not
he didn't cross the barrier.
Yeah.
He didn't cross the barrier. Loss prevention, he
that's
didn't
him.
know. Mr. Hardwick probably didn't even know that was loss prevention. He's in regulars. I know you get regular clothes. I used to do loss prevention. But once you have a suspect or have a shoplifter or have somebody,
You confront somebody, then you need to have an ID.
you need to have your ID badge or a blue vest on. Take your shirt off and have your vest underneath it. There's some way of identifying you so he knows it's a person of authority or somebody that works there. He didn't know who he's talking to in his mind.
No, he thought he was just an average person. But
Danville PD and city of Danville will never live this down if they don't do the right thing on this. This is a elderly. This is abuse. This is falsifying a police report by shoplifting, by AI charge. This is totally excess force
in the worst way. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Are you done?
Sorry to get on a rant, guys. We kept my mother for most of the last 5 years of her life.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't know the first thing about dementia when she first started getting dementia.
Yeah.
And by the time mother passed away, we know all about dementia. Dementia people are some of the saddest people there is. When you take intelligent, I don't know what this man done for a living or before he was stricken with this terrible disease, but they don't know who they are. They don't know who we are. She'd wake up in the morning half the time and not know who we were or where she's at or go in and say, "Good morning, mama." And she'd say, "Good morning, sir," like I was a doctor or something because she was in a hospital bed. And I'd say, "You don't know who I am," and so forth. And then finally throughout the day and then sun would start setting, sundowners would set in, and here you go. And it's terrible, terrible to have to go through it normally. Can you imagine what this gentleman's like in the middle of the night? Can you imagine the nightmares? Can you imagine what his wife has seen since then? We're going to hear about it. Don't worry, because she's got one of the most excellent attorneys there is. I've got all the faith in the world in Helton. But that's only going to be monetary. That's only going to be, that's never going to put him back at ease. And if the police department doesn't do something with the officers, then it's all naught. It's all, what do? Wait for another one? We had one in Stanford, from what I can understand, out of Godbey. He's already had one. He moved to Danville. That's what we do. We go from department to department to department. Why? Why do you have to change departments so much? If, that's like a military. They say the only good duty station in the military, the one you come from or the one you're going to. Everybody, I liked where I was at. I worked for some good departments, and I also worked for one in Pike County that wasn't so good.
Yep.
Guys,
we got to make a change.
If you don't stand up in these, the commissioner of the state police, I'm sorry, babe, I moved your computer.
It's all good. No worries.
The commissioner of the state police, you have these officers on buying steroids. You have these officers stealing fence. You have them stealing ammunition. You have them stealing guns. You have them doing all these, filling out fake time cards, all these different things that goes on. And then you bring them right back. You say it's under internal investigation. And then 3 months later, you don't hear no more about it. But next thing you know, they've done something else and they're in the news again. And you're thinking, shucks, I thought for sure they'd fire that person.
Mm-hmm.
How can they still be there?
Why are they still there?
That's supervision's fault. Guys, it's your fault. In Bull County, if Bull County and the city of Danville allows this to happen and keeps those 3 officers on the force, then 6 months from now, a year from now on, when it happens again, then say, well, okay. We should have said something the last time, because it'll happen again. A person's character, a person's past will often predict their future.
And evidently, this is the second time for
There'll
Mr.
be
Godbey.
There'll be a third. There'll be a third. Hopefully, when there's a civil rights, 1983 civil rights violation filed on this for false imprisonment, for all the different, because the charges have been dropped.
Yeah.
You know, they've charged this man with no charges. The charges was dismissed. Thank the Lord for who the county attorney is for stepping up and doing the right thing. But when they dismissed those charges, that left these officers exactly what you were saying earlier. That left them out there on their own, because the county attorney has already said there's no probable cause here. There's no reason that we see that we can convict this man of any of these charges here that he's charged with. Resisting arrest? Did you guys see that man resist arrest? That man didn't even know he was under arrest. How could he resist? He don't even know they done a beat down on almost a 70-year-old man.
All he said was turn around. He said, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And then they grabbed him,
and
shoved him into the counter, and then slammed him to the floor.
I'm going to tase you. Holy smokes.
I hope nobody does their father like that, an elderly parent of theirs. So,
hey guys, go to Fred McCoy 40. Fred McCoy 40. That's my channel.
Yep.
And I've started posting, and it's not, listen, there are some good police officers.
Yeah.
There are good police officers. We need police officers. We would be in a horrible way if there wasn't police officers for us to go to and depend upon to protect and serve, not beat up and harass. What, babe?
There's good and bad and
Oh,
everything.
there's good and bad and everything, but
it's just that the bad is coming through more than the good.
If the good police officers in the Danville Police Department are good, they'll stand up and say, Chief, you got to do something.
Maybe if they refuse to work with them.
Got to do something. Something's got to give here. What they did wasn't right. And if you believe that was right, other officers, then you're part of the problem too. Then your leadership is giving you the wrong impression.
We'll see.
That's why I always like smaller departments. That's why I always liked, so you don't have to deal with all that. See,
oof.
You're up, babe.
All right,
Thanks, guys.
We hope you're having a great evening. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Just our opinion, guys.
Yes.
Our speculating our opinion. I'm not short on opinions. But I think as Americans and military and everything else, I think we deserve that. Taxpayers, I think we deserve our. And I think when we're paying people to police us, I'm not a policeman anymore, so they police us. I'm part of you all now. And I wouldn't want somebody like that. I've had back surgery. I can imagine one guy throwing me to the ground, much less 3, and putting his knee on my back where I've got 3 pins the size of my little finger going through my backbone. That's, oh, wow.
It's horrible.
Get them, E.
Gotta make a change, guys.
Make an example, E.
Okay. All right. Good night, guys. God bless.
I hope it goes to a jury trial. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I hope they don't settle out of court on this. I hope they go to a jury trial and let a jury show them these people that's like Fred, McCoy, or Sheila with people with dementia in their families. Let them show how they feel, because there's going to be some jurors on there that's dealt with dementia, autism, Alzheimer's, and they're going to sympathize. Take it to trial, E.
All right. Good night.